Hey guys, this is Winstreak. Today we're going to be looking at Construct 3 and we're going to be starting an RPG. Today we're just going to be looking at the basics of animations. We'll create two characters, a hero and an enemy. We'll have one walk to the other one and they'll both start attacking each other. Without further ado, let's go ahead and create a new project. We'll call it Simple RPG. And I have some pre-downloaded animations from itch.io. We have the hero graphics that'll be coming from aamatniekss, and then the enemy we got from Klembod. I'll throw those both below. If you like their graphics, you can go check them out. And I didn't mean to close that. All right. I'm just going to drag and drop the hero. I'll pull them both on the screen so you can see. Drag and drop the hero. And this is the simplest way you can possibly add an animation. They are pre-downloaded or uploaded from the designer, already set in a GIF. So each one of these has multiple images already put in them. Drag and drop, and that will just take everything and already give us this lovely GIF. We'll go ahead and name this as attack, and we'll also want him to have a walk, so let's check out what else he has. And it looks like he has a run right down here, so let's create a new animation. We'll name this run, and we will drag this right into here. And we're going to import it from the files since it's not a sprite script, it's a GIF. And we delete the empty one, that way there's no blank frame when it goes through them. And we're going to set both of these to loop. That way they do it until we tell them not to. So, close this. We're going to name this guy hero instead of attack because he has more than one thing. We're going to set his default to run because we're going to start him over here and we're going to run him at the hero. We also want him to be a little bigger. He's quite small, so we're going to grab this, apply the whole animation, and we'll keep the aspect the same. I'm going to go ahead and just double it, and that'll keep all the pixels exactly as they are, just with twice as much, so it won't lose any of the resolution. We'll throw that there, and we'll also have to do it for the attack animation since we're only applying it to the animation, not the whole sprite. And both of those, so now it's visible there. And we'll look into the enemy now. And he's under Bringer of Death, individual sprite sheet. We want the individual one, so this one was uploaded a little different. But it is as sprite sheets. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of images all pushed together, and they were nice enough to break them into individuals. So we're going to take two. We want his idle, that way he can stand there and wait. So we're going to grab all of those. I'm going to create a new sprite here. We'll set them on this side, and we'll set this to idle, and I'll go back over here. I have them all selected. I'm just going to drag drop all of them. Again, we're deleting the blank one. That way we can idle through without any blanks, and we'll set them to loop so he just continuously does it. And just a tidbit for Construct, if you have the upgraded package, you can hit preview down here, and it'll kind of just show him over here what he's going to look like when you actually play it. If you don't have the package, the preview won't work, but the animations still do. You'll just have to view them in the actual game. Which you can simply do by clicking. You see that they're both doing their starting animations. So just like the other one, I'm going to set him a little larger. 280, stretch, and whole animation. So now he's quite the large enemy here. And again, we're going to want to add a second animation, this one for attack. And we'll have to drag those animations in. So we have attack. And some lovely artwork here. We're going to select all of it and drag it right on in there. Oh, that is ugly, but There we go, we got it, and we'll delete that blank one. And then again, we can click on that, switch on over to attack and preview it here. Looks cool, but we notice that it's not looping, so we fix that, and that it's also small. So 280, and we have it on keep aspect ratio, which I didn't go over earlier, but that's going to affect the height the same amount that it affects the width. And also we have it to apply to the whole animation, which means we're going to hit each one of these with the same edits. So he is set up, and we're going to start him initially on idle, start him initially on run, and we can create another sprite that kind of looks like the ground here, just some green grass, nothing crazy. Go ahead and fill that in. Drag that across everything, and we don't want it covering up the other people, so we are going to go to Z order, and we're going to send it to the bottom of the layer. That just means behind everything else. We'll have them both up here, so they're kind of above the grass but also on it, so it gives it a semi 3D two-dimensional look. And now our goal is to move one to the other. So this one's going to stay still because he's in idle mode. This one's going to run towards the other one. So we'll have to add a behavior here. And looking under there, we have either bullet or move to that will move our characters. I'm going to go ahead and use move to. And let's see, we got it set. Max speed is 200, acceleration 600. So there's all sorts of these little details we can set and change. I'm going to set the acceleration, deceleration to 0. That's just going to make him hit max speed the second he tries to, rather than slowly ramping up to it. And the same with going back down. When we tell him to stop, he will instantly stop moving. Set angle. Alright, none of that matters for now. And we're just going to go ahead and hop in here and add an event on start a layout. And this will be right when we load. And we'll just have the hero move to, which he will have this move to section, and we will move him to an object, to move to object, and our object is going to be the enemy, who we did not rename, so right now he is sprite. Image point optional, we're not going to edit any of these, there's no additional directions, he's just going to go straight to the enemy. And oops, go in here and just change this to enemy. And now if we run it, you can see he just runs at the enemy. And then he hits him and stops, and nothing fun happens. So let's find a way to decide if they collide. We will go with hero on collision with another object, enemy, and then we will change the hero animation. And if you go ahead and just click the quote here, it'll show you all the animations you have to choose from. We were smart and labeled them beforehand, so now it'll just automatically set it to attack on collision. And it looks like we don't actually collide with them. So let's see if we can grab something else here. Instead of on enemy collision, we can see if hero has something better we can choose from. So move to on hit solid. He is not a solid, so let's look into this. Behaviors, add, and we're going to give him solid and see if we can just force him to read that he hit there. So on arrived, actually that's going to be a little smarter. On arrived, we're going to tell him to move to something on arrived. And it looks like we figured it out. Bop. So once he arrives at the move to location, he will start attacking. And we can decide where that location is based on the hitboxes. So this guy right here is going to be the collision polygon. Just depending on how they're created, they'll each have a different sized one. Let me see if his are any different. Sometimes they're going to be the whole box, sometimes they're going to try to figure it out so it looks nice. But essentially we can go in here and set this so it hits them a little further out and looks a little better when they start attacking. They're not on top of each other. So I'm just going to put this so they stop right in front. Go ahead and apply this to the whole animation. This will be all of idle. This would be all of idle and attack, but we don't want to mess with attack. We just want to change animation of idle. So if you look, attack is still the tiny one, and we can do different things with that later if we want to. But idle will be the same for each one. And now we should be able to run into him and stop a little earlier, start attacking. And now it looks like he's kind of just right in front of him. And then we can also set the enemy to set animation, and they also have this lovely attack that we made for them right away. And now they'll bump into each other and both start attacking each other. Bop bop. And we don't really have anything happening with the attacks right now, but obviously we could program something to the effect of, I don't know, let's say if we attack 3 times the enemy dies. So let's go ahead and start a global, and enemy death equals 0. And then look at our hero. Compare is playing, so we're going to make sure he's playing attack. And whenever he's playing attack, it is going to set the value, or add to the value, of enemy death by 1. So let's add an additional here. We have hero and current frame. Compare frame. So we're going to look at frame is equal to, let's say frame 5. I don't remember how many frames there are, so we're going to jump back here real quick. Look into attack. He's got 3 frames. So right here, this frame looks like it's where the damage should come in. So at frame 2, we're going to set it to add 1 to the damage to the enemy. So let's edit this to 2. So if the hero is both attacking and hitting animation frame 2, and then I believe we're going to want to trigger once while true. So trigger once while true, we're going to add 1 to enemy death, and then we'll need something that says if the enemy death is 3, that the enemy dies. Compare variable. Enemy death is equal to or greater than, just in case we count up super fast and we don't hit it exactly on 3, we'll get this extra catch. 3 or more hits, they die. So enemy, and we're just going to destroy it. And then we'll reset enemy death to 1. That way, if there's another one that we want to set up, then it'll already be back to enemy death of 0. So set value, and we'll reset it, sorry, to 0, not to 1. And we'll go ahead and see if that does what we think it would do. So we'll attack, 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 and now it's dead. We didn't set anything up to stop him from attacking. We don't have an animation other than run and idle. We can do that real quick. I believe we have something in there for him anyways, so it shouldn't be hard to do. Let's see, he's got slide, run, dash, death, fall, hit, crouch. Nothing that looks like he gets excited. Maybe just a jump for joy. So we're gonna open him up, create a new one. We're gonna name this Victory. Victory. We're gonna drag this in there. Import from files. Doesn't actually look like he's going to jump anywhere with the animations they gave us. Let me see what else is in here. Alright, I'm going to go make some quick animation edits. We're just going to duplicate these. We're going to go and take this stage 2 and move them slightly higher. Stage 3, move them even higher. And then we're going to bring them back down a little. and then back down. And we'll copy this one more time. And he's back on the ground. And yeah, he looks fine like that. And we're not going to loop this one. As you see, it's not looped, and he'll just do a jump for joy when he wins, and then he'll stand there, and that will be the completion. So we add enemy death. Once we destroy it, we will also set the hero to jump for joy. Set animation, and victory. From the beginning, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. It's dead. We didn't change the size, but I think you understand from there. We'll just run this here. Whole animation. One last time here, and then I'm going to sign off. Gives you something to work with, a beginning to a game. And enjoy. I'll be on next time. We'll go a little further in.